Hey everybody, welcome to Aniki, the podcast about anime with two brothers. I'm Ben.
And I'm day drinking.
I am also full of regrets.
Or should I say drinking before noon, because both of those are technically true.
This show will drive you to drink.
But look, I mean, I've had a Mai Tai for every time we've had to deal with this show, so I figured you might as well finish it out, even though it's 9 a.m.
Fair enough. Before we get you too wasted.
Yeah. Well, you already wasted my time this week.
What have you been up to since last we spoke? In a good way.
Hating life? Oh, in a good way. Let's see. What have I done since last we spoke? Played Magic.
That's nice.
Reread Aku no Hana, because I wanted to see good relationships in media.
The manga, I assume?
Yeah, I reread the manga. I'm rewatching the show. I don't know what else one would read. Is there a novelization of the manga?
I don't know. I was getting my hopes up there for a second. Because that'd be nice.
I will be watching more Magic today and probably a little bit of baseball, listening to it on the radio.
Oh yeah, that should be starting soon.
It starts today, in fact.
Hooray! Well, today has one good thing going for it.
12 p.m. Mountain Time, I assume. Let me check. 12 Pacific Time. Okay, so they just start in 3 hours.
Oh,
cool.
Well,
there you go.
you have something to look forward to after this week.
Sure do.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what else. I don't think anything else of note has occurred.
I have watched more Spider-Girl, which continues to be quite good. Good enough that my wife is like, I'm going to start reading all the novels. So she did.
Oh, well, there you go.
I think she's on the second or third one now. It's only been like a week. I watched ReZero. I'm caught up on ReZero.
Oh, how is ReZeroing?
Well, up until last week, I would have told you same old trash. But now I can tell you, it's not so bad.
Well, that's nice. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's now not that bad. Well, see, this is why I said, like, when I talked about Snafu a while ago, I was like, I want to say that's below average, but I know what actual average anime probably is. I know that the average of actual anime is much lower than we tend to think because we're generally watching decent anime. So, generally speaking. So, honestly, Snafu is above average, but just slightly. Because the average is being dragged down by a lot of things.
Indeed.
This week's show likely included.
I did start reading a light novel.
Okay.
It's very highly recommended. It's called 86.
Okay.
I don't recommend it.
Well, that's fair.
It's been a slog to get through. It's like, is there a movie I can compare it to? I don't know. It's kind of like Battle Royale meets war, I guess. So the setup of the novel is
war.
There's this country. It's probably Japan. They're made of 86 wards. They go to war with their neighbor, which is assumed to be, I guess, Russia or China. That's nothing but AI war machines.
Sure.
And the first country decides, we are suddenly going to become the most racist people in the world and take everybody in Ward 86 and make them soldiers and strip them of all their rights.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then, of course, this has gone on for many, many years, and all the commanders for these soldiers are way back in the capital, essentially using them as human drones.
Okay.
And you've got your perfect princess protagonist chick, who's the commander of this special outfit, and she really wants to keep them alive because she's the only person in the capital who cares.
Who really cares?
Yep. It has hit all the beats. Not surprising at all. And it's just really long. Also,
it's not really a light novel, is it?
Well, it's still got the drawings and stuff, so it's technically a light novel. It also has the thing going for it where, I don't know if this is just a light novel thing, a Japanese writing thing, or what. Maybe it's just bad writing in general. They will do a thing where somebody will say a line such as, I am going to watch baseball today, followed by 3 paragraphs of what baseball is and the history of it.
Oh, that's fair.
And then the next person will go, I also like baseball. And then 3 paragraphs on his life history in regards to baseball.
I mean, you just sometimes really need to know all this background.
Do you like exposition?
Not particularly.
Well, I don't recommend this book. There is some dialogue in it somewhere.
There you go.
Anyway, so I have not had a good week in regards to Japanese media.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Can't all be roses.
Can't all be roses, or even weeds. I would settle for weeds.
Are you caught up on WandaVision at least?
No.
Oh well. See, that's a good way to brighten your day. Oh, I did watch Cats, 1998.
Okay, you had me scared there for a second.
I mean, I've also seen Cats 2019.
No,
it is very bad. But I watched that ages ago.
I'm sure you watched it for the lulz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It is shockingly bad. Like, as bad as you think it might be, it is actually worse.
It's even better when you sit there in situ going, somebody paid millions of dollars to make this happen.
Oh, so much. Have you watched Sideways' video on Cats 2019? It's fascinating.
I have not. Good. I watched Lindsay Ellis's one.
Oh, that's pretty solid too. Sideways is good because he goes through like music stuff. Oh. Unfortunately, he gets hit with DMCA. DMCA requests, so he has to work around them. But yeah,
you want to talk about other train wrecks?
Do I want to talk about a show that should have a DMC request on it? Sure. My alternate greeting for this week was you were going to do your thing, and I was going to say, and I told you so, but...
Okay, so here's the story on why we chose Rent-A-Girlfriend.
Yeah.
You said last time, hey, we should watch... I don't remember what it was. Was it Kaguya-sama Season 2?
It was Kaguya-sama Season 2, a good show.
It is a good show. And I had on my list, hey, we should maybe watch Rent-A-Girlfriend at some point. I was like, hey, this is also a quote-unquote romantic comedy, at least on paper.
On paper,
and it's probably trash, which will give us a more entertaining episode.
Yeah.
And I'm still convinced of that fact. However,
for sure.
By the time I started watching it, I remembered, oh, wait, I have to watch this thing.
Yeah, you have to watch the trash before you can talk about it.
Yeah, so I had many regrets, and I continue to have many regrets.
It's very bad.
It's a bad show. Do not recommend.
Bad show.
3 out of 10.
3?
I gave it a 3.
That's fair. The animation is good, and the character designs are fairly solid.
Like, 1 is it fails at being an anime at all. 2 is like there are basically no redeeming qualities, but at least it has a story somewhere, maybe.
Yeah.
So this is a 3.
Well, here, like, the premise of Rent-A-Girlfriend is not inherently terrible.
It's not. And provided we have time, I have some suggestions on how to make a show based on that premise.
It's very easy. College student. Thankfully, they're all college students. Thankfully. College student has a bad breakup.
Mm-hmm.
Hires an escort for the day.
Yep.
Then discovers that it's his classmate and that they're next door neighbors.
Indeed.
Hilarity ensues. Oh, and gets wrapped up into a comic misunderstanding where he has to keep hiring the escort to please his grandmother.
Phrasing.
Oh, say.
She's not really an escort. Show. She is just a date girlfriend. She doesn't go for the other stuff. It's very kosher.
Yeah. But, I mean, in Japan, that's like literally how prostitution works.
It is.
But yes, she is not a scandalous escort. It is very just to keep up appearances type thing. To be honest, this setup isn't too far out of the realm of a slightly more scandalous Hallmark movie.
It's not. I don't actually have problems with the premise.
No, it's fine. Especially because it's like, oh, if they find out they're neighbors, that's funny. You could do something with this.
You can. There's a lot you could do with this. The show refuses to do any of those things, but you could.
Mostly on the back that its protagonist is trash. Like actual trash.
My overall take is don't watch at all.
Yeah. That being said, if season 2 comes out, I will watch it.
Here's some pros. I did write down some pros. I have 4 of them, and I have enumerated them. Number 1, it has a theme song.
The op is good. It's a good op.
Look at that. It has a theme song. It has succeeded in being a show.
Yeah. No, the op is good. It's a good op. I will not deny its opness.
2, it is pretty to look at.
It is. Good character designs, solid animation. It's
very
good.
Nice.
It's from the technical standpoint, It's pretty good.
It is. I even appreciated how they depicted blushing instead of the normal, they go all red. It was nice. It was soft and
It's solid.
Yeah. It reminded me a little bit of Nozaki-kun, a little bit.
Like, again, this show could have a very similar setup to Nozaki-kun and work.
Yeah, it could.
Secret job that I'm in on, and I kind of like you.
Indeed.
We can do this.
Number 3. Episode 1 was actually pretty good for the first 20 minutes. So if you want to give this show a shot, just watch episode 1. You can save all the time in watching the rest of them. And when you're about 90 seconds away from the end of the show, just stop.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
You get the idea. You get the setup. You get some wacky hijinks with some misunderstandings. Lessons are apparently learned, and they go their separate ways. Perhaps they're better people. And if you stop right there, you're good.
Yeah, that's really.
And number 4, Sumi was nice. I liked the character of Sumi. It's not really a spoiler.
Which one is she? I can't remember any of their names.
She was the pink-haired girl.
Best girl. Sumi? Oh, no, she was garbage.
No, she was fine.
She's garbage.
She did nothing wrong.
She's not as trash as everyone else.
Exactly.
She may be least trash.
And so that's why she is a positive in retrospect.
It's fair. Except that her episode, literally nothing moves forward. Okay, I guess a little bit moves forward. But that's mostly due to the fact that the villain... Okay, Pro 5, the villain is fantastic. Literally the only reason to watch the show. She should be in it more because she drops out for the middle third. But
she should have also been utilized better.
For sure.
But we'll get to that. But overall, don't watch Rent a Girlfriend. And there's a season 2 coming out. I will probably hard pass on that. You may watch it.
I will so watch it.
With more Mai Tais?
Hopefully. But no, it will be bad, but I will watch it. Mostly because I want to see the villain light the world on fire. I do not think that this will happen, but I want it to real bad.
Yeah, let's get into spoiler land so we can talk openly about all this garbage. If you don't want to hear us trash your favorite show or your favorite character from the show, assuming you've watched this, I suggest you stop now because we have nothing good to say past this point.
Well, I can't imagine anybody sits down. I mean, I know it's got a really high rating on Crunchyroll and stuff. And see, that's the other thing upsetting about it. Like, Crunchyroll freaking pushed the show. So it's like, it can't be that bad. It's that bad.
It is that bad.
It's very bad. It's very terrible. But it's got a fairly high rating, too. What is it on my anime list, anyway?
When I rated it yesterday, it was 7.5, I think. It's 7 something.
7.5. Okay, let's go my anime list. Okay. And they have a 10-point scale?
They do.
And what are their best rated shows?
My anime list skews very heavily towards the top end of the scale for everything.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's almost everything, to be honest.
Yeah. It is 7.37 on my anime list.
Okay. And the top shows are in the mid 8s.
Yeah.
So,
but I give it a 3. I'm pretty sure I'm an outlier on that, which is
it is very terrible. But I find it hard to believe anybody would say that this is, like, if anybody says this is their favorite show, I would be shocked. I could see people saying this is a tolerable show.
And that leads me to my ultimate question for everything to do with the show. Who is it for? I cannot figure that out.
People who are horny.
If it's for them, there are much better shows to scratch that itch.
I mean, there are better.
You could watch Interspecies Reviewers. You can get all the etching. Just have all of it. You could watch Redo of a Healer, I guess, if you're that terrible. You can be super terrible.
That terrible.
I don't know who this is for.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it fails at pretty much everything.
Yeah, it's not good.
It fails at story. It fails at character development. It fails at catharsis.
Oh, yeah. No.
Just all of it. By the time you finish this show, no one has grown except maybe the main girl and only backwards. And everybody starts back at 0.0. So, of course, there's a season 2.
Yeah.
I don't understand who it's for. I don't get it.
I mean, people who like seeing cute girls well animated, but even then there's like better shows like lots.
Like, I feel like this show is aimed at lonely incel types, right?
Yeah.
Because they want that escapism, that wish fulfillment.
The magic pixie dream girl type deal.
Yeah. But it doesn't even deliver on that.
I don't think so.
Even by the end, even myself, who hated the whole ride to get there, the last few moments thought, okay, well, there's a small part of me that still lives in his late teens and thinks, well, if he can at least confess, maybe he can get the girl. Maybe she can give him a chance.
Yeah.
And then he blew
However,
it.
yeah, that shit ought not have shocked me, and yet it did.
I almost threw my laptop across the room.
It like actually shocked me. And again, it should not have, because I should have known that this is how it works. Boy tries to confess, but then walks it back at the last second. I'm used to this in shows. One of my favorite shows of all time does this.
Which one's that?
You know, that very forgettable one.
Oh, yeah.
The ice cream show. Hyuka. Hyuka does that, but it at least has the circumstances of was an ongoing light novel series at the time. I mean, I know this is an ongoing manga right now, but one would think that there would be movement in the manga as well, so there would be a time in which he does confess.
Well, in Hyuka, it's a very slow burn, but at least it is burning somewhere.
Oh, for sure.
By the end of that show, yeah, they still can't confess, but before he was absolutely denying all of his feelings, and so was she.
Yes.
And now they've at least acknowledged maybe this is a thing. What happens next? Here, they're like, no, hard reset.
Oh, yeah. No, it's very bad. It's very upsetting. And again, should not have been surprised by it, but I think I was surprised. I was willing to buy that it happened because I was like, otherwise we'll have done nothing for so many episodes. I was like, well, I can't believe that we would do nothing for all of these episodes.
You were wrong.
I was wrong.
I don't want to talk about the plot because the plot angers me. Let's talk about the characters who also anger me.
That's fair.
Let's start with Protag. What was his name?
I don't know.
I already hate him. Kazuya.
Kazuya.
But every time I heard his name, I just thought Kuso. Just crap, dung, excrement, feces. Awful,
like Kusumu.
terrible.
Yeah. Like shit. Like actual shit. Yeah, no, I got you.
Like an actual turd. Yes.
Like poop from a butt. Like from a butt.
Yes.
Not the shit, but actual, like literal shit.
And
like
he is.
Oh, yeah, he's very terrible. He's exquisitely terrible.
So he starts out, like, we're introduced to him as, my name is Kazuya. I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's his introduction. He defines himself as, I have a girlfriend.
Well, yeah, because...
And that just informs everything you need to know about this character.
He's bad. He is trashy, poopy butts.
So he gets dumped by mommy, and then he reaches out for help on this Rent-A-Girl website. And from that point forward, he grows not at all. He continues to see women only as possessions, as goals to be attained. And that's it.
But there are several things that make him very terrible, as opposed to your normal terrible. So, like, let's look at, so many other, like, trashy boys in anime. There's a lot of them. Mm-hmm. Madarame comes to mind from good old Genshiken. Yeah. He's trash.
He is trash.
But he knows he's trash, and he embraces his trashness.
He leans into it.
He owns that he's trash. He's like, yeah, I like anime girls. Deal with it. Anime girls are hot. 3D, literally pig disgusting. So, like, I can get behind these types of characters because they know they're bad and are willing to own it in a special way.
Yeah.
Kazuya refuses to even own it. He always goes on, like, tirades about how he knows he's trash and it's so terrible that he's trash. But it's all fake because he doesn't, like, try to change or even own that he's trash. He's just like, I'm trash, woe is me.
I think the key difference is the first type with Genshiken, and my wife suggested Konosuba because that guy's also trash. Kazuma.
Same. But he's fun because he's like, yeah, I'm trash.
They lean into it and they don't feel like they deserve anything. They're like, this is who I am. I will take come what may.
I deserve nothing because I am utter garbage trash. This guy is like, I am garbage trash, but shouldn't I be happy too?
I should be happy. I should get all the things and all the girls. That's what I should have.
Shouldn't even trash be happy?
It's not fair that other people have girlfriends and get to sleep with them and touch their boobs. That's not fair.
But I am trash.
But he does nothing to try to overcome his self-acknowledged weaknesses.
Let's take the show at what it's telling us. The show does try to say, look, Kazuyu's trash. We know he's trash, but he has redeeming qualities, okay? And it shows us his redeeming quality. His redeeming quality is that he's willing to not let other people die.
I feel like that is the bare minimum of being a human being.
Yes. So the way I put it is his only redeeming quality is that he can pass the replicant test from Blade Runner. That's it. That's all he's got going for him. But that is what is shown in the show as to what wins girls' hearts and makes girls like him, is that if he saw me drowning, he might try to stop it.
Yeah.
He doesn't view human beings as completely disposable entities. Isn't that so sweet of him?
Isn't it, though?
It's like, I mean, compared to the rest of him, I suppose. But that is not enough. That's not a redeeming quality. That's bare minimum of existing in humanity.
Yes, it shows that he is not a villain, per se.
Yeah, he's not a replicant. He doesn't. His memories are not like tears in the rain. That's all. That's all we get to know.
So the show gives him, whether he deserves them or not, multitudinous opportunities to grow emotionally. So where at least I, as an audience member, could feel like maybe he deserves a shot. And every time those opportunities present themselves, he has one of two reactions. Either he slips into, oh, she has boobs, and then starts fantasizing about that. Or, and sometimes in conjunction with, he runs away.
Yeah.
Sometimes metaphorically into, I can't, excuses, blah, blah, blah. Or he physically runs away. One of the two. Dude, fate and just Deus Machina have aligned to put you in all these situations. And yet you are still choosing, I will do nothing.
Yeah. Yep.
I will not engage with
trash.
these other people as genuine human beings who also have feelings. I instead will go hide.
And cry about how trashy I am.
Lamp shading how terrible you are is not growth.
No, it is not.
It's only growth if you try to fix any of those things.
Yeah.
And the thing that makes me really mad is at the end of the day, what he has actually accomplished is he has emotionally abused the main girl to the point where she has broken down all of her boundaries that she set up at the start of the show. He's broken through all of the guards around her heart.
Yeah. No.
He's gotten her to break all of the boundaries that she had set, which is abusive behavior and is not okay.
That's fair.
Speaking of her, let's talk about Chizuru.
You know, she's pretty okay, except for the fatal flaw of all of the female leads in these types of shows, which is she finds creepy behavior endearing.
I don't know that she does. I feel like Chizuru is more a tragic story of a strong, independent woman with set boundaries, both personal and professional, and how a piece of shit, his grandma, and fate have all convinced her to drop all of them.
First off, his grandma rules. Do not slander this old biddy.
I don't blame her. The story makes her do the things that grandma does.
You're not wrong. I mean, look, you gotta kind of lose respect for her when she's just like, you know what? The fact that you constantly stalk me is really cute. Or even better, oh, I love how you stalk me so much. You're so safe to be around. So let me recommend the brand new escort that we've hired to you to go out on a date with you because you're so safe. It's like, what are you doing? I have no sympathy for you anymore. You're throwing this poor young girl Sumi to the lions. Do you not remember what he did to you?
It would be totally okay if she looked at him with pity and was like, you know, you're just such a sad sack. Let me help you, even if you reject all of my advice.
Yeah.
You know, here are still all these boundaries. I felt like maybe that was still a chance in the first couple episodes. Yeah. But by episode 8, it was absolutely, no, this is not a thing. He freaking stalks her literally all day.
Let's get to that because I have a fun story about that episode.
Okay.
Because that's the episode right after he introduced Luca, who I was like, you know what? Luca, may in fact be more trash than our main character. But
Perhaps.
then, right after I'm saying, okay, maybe Kazuya is not the most trash in the show. Right after I'm willing to say that, episode 8 happens. And he stalks a girl for an entire day. And you're like, well, nope, he is actually the worst.
Whole day is given several opportunities to himself to be like, this is wrong. I should not be doing this thing. And then continues to do it anyway. I'm
going to keep doing it. I mean, when I'm rooting for Ruka to show up, you have a problem. Well, I'm like, man, I hope the other piece of trash shows up so that this kind of trash stops and a new kind of trash begins.
So she set up all these professional boundaries, right? You can't do this. You can't do that. We're playing by the rules. Some of these are set up by my rental agency. Some of them are my own. Yeah. This is it. These are the rules of engagement. He stalks her all day. And at the end, she's like, are you freaking kidding me? You stalked me all day? And he's like, yeah, it's because I'm a piece of trash and no one will love me.
And she's like, oh, that's so cute.
Have a present. What a good boy.
Yeah.
My poor, the poor arms of my chair. I struck them many times.
I mean, this is reasonable. I did in my heart.
And then he does it again. He stalks her again.
Constantly he does this. And every time she finds out, she's like, oh, that's so cute. It's because he cares for me so much.
No, it's because he's possessive.
Because he's awful.
He wants to find out if you've betrayed the idol that he set up within himself of what you are. Yeah. It's like, you should be calling the cops on him.
Yes.
Constantly.
Many times. Constantly. Like, even like episode 1, you're like, why haven't you called the cop on this guy? Like, this guy's like bad news. Have you not seen all the red flags he is waving constantly?
She's such a tragic character. It's just so sad. Yeah. I like her as a character at the start. I think she deserves, anyone would deserve better than Kazuya.
That's true.
But she definitely does.
Though I will say that the show does do her dirty in another way, which is to claim wildly that she's more hot without the braids, which is like, come on. Like, really?
I do like the dual nature. I like both. Both are okay. What about Ruka?
Ruka is trash. She is the only trash that can rival Kazuya in her trash.
She is very trash. I don't know if she's that trashy, though.
She's pretty trash.
I mean, she's possessive and annoying.
Yeah.
She doesn't like Kazuya for who he is at all.
Yeah.
I mean, no one in this show has anything resembling a healthy relationship.
Oh, yeah, no.
But she only likes him because for some reason she has this rule about if a boy makes her heart beat more than, 90 beats a minute?
Yeah, I guess because she like generally can't feel excitement. So once she finds a boy that can, she's like, oh, I will date him forever. So here's normally I would like the Ruka type, right? Because she's got a bit of a yandere vibe to her. Unfortunately, she's like yandere if yandere was marshmallow.
She's very like marshmallow.
It's like they ground all the fun, hard edges off of a yandere character. And I'm like, well, now she's soft and fluffy. And it's like, well, then that's no longer interesting. Now she's just garbage.
I don't disagree. I hate the fact that she throws herself at Kazuya.
Oh, yeah.
Like, mind, body, and soul. To the point where it would, and I hate to say this, it would quote unquote solve all of his self-imposed problems. Because he wants to touch some boobs. He's super lonely. He wants social status for having a girlfriend. He wants to please his grandma. She fulfills all those things, however terrible they may be.
She sure does.
And he rejects it all the time because I don't know why. I think the show is trying to tell us, well, he really likes Chizuru.
I mean, that's part of it. And part of it's because, like, she's like, a little scary.
She's scary.
But, like, come on. I don't know.
But if he just wants all those surface level things, she fits the bill. That's it. And she only wants him for surface level reasons. It's a match made in hell. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. These two pieces of trash belong together.
But the show goes out of its way, like with the family meeting where she crashes a meeting with grandma. The show goes out of its way to make it impossible.
Because she is likewise massive trash. Like, I mean, she starts the show as another rent-a-girlfriend and then immediately betrays the secret of, like, her client. And it's like, dude,
That's not cool.
why are you bad?
Not cool. Professional courtesy and all.
I didn't think anybody could out-bad Kazuya, and yet here we are with somebody out-badding him until he decides to spend all of Christmas Day stalking the girl he likes.
Yeah.
While presumably she's at her job.
That's what you do when you don't have any scruples.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, she doesn't have much going for her. What about Mommy?
Mommy's the best.
Mommy could have been the best, I feel.
Mommy's an evil bitch, and I love her.
She starts out, you think maybe she's just sadistic. She's Kazuya's ex, dumped him for unknown reasons after a month of being together.
Probably because she realized he was Kazuya.
Oh, yeah, in retrospect.
So, I mean...
But at the start, you don't know that.
Yeah.
She dumps him for unknown reasons. They kissed once. And because she's still in the circle of friends, he keeps running into her. That seems plausible. Yeah. That seems like a decent setup. Okay. And then she starts doing terrible things like kissing and telling. I don't like it. I didn't like that. I'm like, I hate you now. Which was good.
I love that. Because again, she's wonderfully, she's deliciously bad.
She's a good setup for an antagonist.
Again, she's a bad character who acknowledges her badness, and we go on from there. Like, that's what makes her cool and interesting.
See, that's where I feel like it fell apart. Because up until the midpoint of the show, I would 100% agree with you. I feel like she only cares about what she can't have. That's kind of how she's presented. She doesn't care about Kazuya until he shows up with hot chick. And then she's like, well, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to break him up.
The issue is that she drops out for the middle part of the show. And then you lose the momentum that the show had, which is, okay, there's a clear antagonist and a clear protagonist. And then you replace the villain with the rival instead. The rival being Ruka.
Yeah.
And when you do that, like, you lose all your forward momentum in the story.
Well, there's that. And then when they do bring Mommy back, it's not that she's still pure evil. It's, oh no, actually, it turns out she's still pining for him and hasn't dated anybody else this whole time for a whole year because he's just that desirable.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't read it that way. I read it more like yours, which is she only cares about him because, like, other girls are into him now. And she's like, well, la-di-da. No, sir. Well,
that would have been more convincing if she had come back in the show and she had her own hot boyfriend, like, for reals, not a rental, right? And was parading him around. And when Kazuya didn't care, then maybe she goes nuclear and does all the stuff that she does. But we're shown that one scene in her bedroom where her brother's like, hey, are you ever going to go out again? And she's like, I don't know why I'm still pining after this guy. If it weren't for that scene, she could have just come back and still been evil. But no, the show had to go out of its way again and be like, Mommy also still likes Kazuya because he's just a guy. What a guy.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
Ugh.
And she doesn't drop as many nukes as she should have in the last couple episodes.
No, I figured she would have gone to Grandma.
Oh, that would have been
She could have just screenshotted Chizuru's rental thing and texted it to Grandma and watched the fireworks.
There's so many better ways she could have just dropped bombs all over the situation in the best way.
Yeah.
But unfortunately.
Well, even the whole last episode where she's confronting Chizuru on a quote-unquote date, she gives Chizuru money and is like, sing for me. It's like, I'm pretty sure Chizuru at any point could have been like, you know what? I'm not comfortable with this and I'm going to leave. But she doesn't. She sits there because I don't know why, because she doesn't have boundaries anymore, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
She's lost all of her self-respect and it's all Kazuya's fault.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
What about Grandma? You got Grandma in there.
I like Grandma. Grandma just wants grandkids.
I like the concept of Grandma. I don't like how she was used. She just became a prop by the end. But she seems like a genuinely nice lady.
Oh, for sure.
I've got a list of improvements. Would you like to hear my list of improvements, how to make this show better?
So many ways. One, make Kazuya not terrible. But really, the major flaw, right, is first off, he should lean into him being himself being trash. And two, he should just start out as just wanting to be like buddies with with Chizuru.
No doubt.
It should be a comedy, not necessarily a romantic comedy of him just like being her friend and helping her out of like weird jams in certain ways. would go a long way.
That sort of jives with my idea. Okay, so
Yeah, make it more like Nozaki, less like this.
I have a 4-point plan.
Okay.
Point 1, don't set it in college. I know that you said that was a pro at the start.
Well, it's better than high school. That's my problem.
Okay, so here's the issue with that. Is with an older cast, and this is just to improve what we've got. With an older cast, the concept of boundaries should already be well established. And breaking them has to have some damn good reasons, right?
Yeah, sure.
So these aren't just emotional walls and stuff to past events. This is solid. I know what I want. I know what I will and will not tolerate.
Yeah.
And Chizuru feels like she has that at the start of the show. So breaking those down is just abuse. If this was in high school, you can kind of skirt around that because in high school, all those boundaries are still being determined and defined. So you can push them and it's less problematic.
Except then you're dealing with like escorts that are like in high school.
Yes, there is that. So
I mean,
so if you were going to continue doing this show as is, it should be in high school, not in college. That aside, if you wanted to make this show a better show, take episode 1 as is, and at the end, they just stay friends. They can still live next door, which is super improbable, but okay, fine, whatever. Let them like grow naturally as just friends. Like maybe he asks for dating advice. He goes on his own dates, but he maybe he keeps messing them up. Like maybe he's self-sabotaging them because he feels like he's cheating on Chizuru subconsciously. Maybe he slowly realizes that, right?
Yeah.
And maybe she does the same thing. Maybe she starts messing up on her dates and maybe her rating starts dropping and they like brainstorm on how to fix it together.
Basically, it would be nice if the show had like actual tension.
Yeah. And then they have like a real date just to see what works and what doesn't. It's like an experiment. And since they're constantly communicating and being mature about it.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Suddenly they start to feel things, right? And then maybe mommy shows up at that point.
Oh, and drops nukes.
Yeah, and spills the beans to grandma about the whole setup. And now grandma's all mad. And now they have to suddenly sort out what are their true feelings. And if they do like each other, like how do they convince everybody else that, no, this isn't just an act anymore. They blah, blah. Look, it's a better show now. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it doesn't take much to make this show better.
Like I'm getting excited just talking about it because you can use this premise effectively.
No, the premise is solid. There's a solid premise behind the show. There's reasons why I keep thinking it's like, man, I kind of want to like the show, but not this show as it is.
Yeah.
I want to like a show with these character designs in this premise, but I want the characters to be like good. Not
Kazuya.
Not this.
Like you could keep Ruka and your Ecchi too. You could keep Ruka and maybe she's still going out with Kiri. And that relationship unfolds the way it actually did in the canonical show. And you can contrast that with the main OTP and be like, see, they are progressing and they are not for these reasons, right? This is healthy. This one's not, etc. You can even keep your Ecchi as long as it's humorous and it's shown that Kazuya has to like overcome those inclinations to get to something more real. Ha ha ha.
I get it. Uh-huh.
Overcome. It's funny.
Yeah, see, because it's like a sex thing.
It is, because sometimes people do the sex.
Yeah, it's true. But unfortunately, the show is not that.
It's
the
none
show
of those
is actually
things.
just like bad.
And at the end, you get back to 0. No one has grown except Chizuru, and only backwards for her.
Yeah.
So of course you need a season 2. Why wouldn't you have a season 2? Since it ends on nothing.
Yeah, true.
We don't even know if Chizuru decided to give him a shot at the end or not.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
When's season 2 coming out anyway?
I don't know. I don't know if one's actually formally greenlit.
Let me check the old Wikipedia. Oh, it has been greenlit, but no date on it. It was greenlit
maybe
last year.
Maybe for never.
It doesn't deserve that. Did you know it has 19 Takabans?
I mean, sure. I mean, maybe the manga's slightly better. I don't know. Somehow I doubt it, but
it just makes me so mad. I don't think I've ever been physically pissed at a show before.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
I may have in the past, but I don't remember it. So this is the first time in a long time, if ever. Ugh.
Yeah, no, it's a super bad show.
Don't watch it.
Nah, no. Save your time. Some bad shows are fun to watch. This one is not fun to watch.
It's just frustratingly.
This one's just upsetting.
Don't even watch next time. Something good, maybe.
Let's watch a boxing show. Let's go back to manly things.
Okay.
Manly men doing manly things.
So you wanted to watch Megalobox, which I still haven't seen yet.
It's based off of Ashita no Joe, and second season comes out next season. So
Yeah, it's supposed to be really good.
it's supposed to be good. It's boxing, robot boxing. He's got robot arms.
I feel like we've had this episode about robot arms, haven't we?
I mean, sure. I don't know.
When they go to Mars with vampires and roll balls and stuff.
Well, look, that's Alita, and Alita is still dope.
Did they ever get off Mars with vampires?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
good.
still need to get back to Martian Chronicles. I kind of stopped reading that for a little while, but there's probably enough out now that I can read more. I'm just I'm excited to watch good shows. I want this season to wrap up because there's like 5 or 6 shows we can watch from this season.
This ongoing season right now?
Yes.
Yes.
There's like several, and I want to watch them for the show so we don't have to sit here and hate life.
Yeah. Too late. Here we are.
Yeah, basically. All right. Well,
Better luck next time.